Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is Christy here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Taurus, if you don't know your Moon and Rising sign, there's a link in the description box where you can find out your whole birth chart. And that way, if you want additional messages for the week on top of your Sun sign reading today, you can always check out your Moon and Rising sign readings. So this is for Taurus for the week of August 1st to August 8th. And I will be doing a 5-card spread using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck like I did last week. And we'll be looking at general messages for your sign in terms of what do you need to know. And then as always, we'll be drawing additional message cards from each of the Healing with the Angels Tarot and the Medicine Card Tarot. So this is a general reading. Whatever is most prominent in your life, Taurus, I'll encourage you to apply these messages to, and hopefully you find them helpful and healing. So I'm going to begin shuffling, and we're going to get 5 cards out and begin your reading. So we're looking for 5 cards. What does Taurus need to know? What does Taurus need to know? All right. So we just need 2 more cards here, Taurus. What does Taurus need to know? I love when they jump, super jump. Okay, we're just looking for 1 more here for you, Taurus. And then we'll look at what position each card is in. I'll get a general perspective on the entire spread, and then we'll look at them one by one together. Okay, so let's get a couple more shuffles here. If we don't get a jumper, I'll pull from the center of the deck for you. We do have 2, but I'm going to take them. It's a little bit unusual for me to do that, but I am going to take them. They were stuck together when they flipped, and let's roll with it, shall we? Okay, so let's consider these sort of 2 here together. All right, so in each position, we'll begin there. I'll get a general snapshot of what's going on, and then we'll look at them individually. In the central position, meaning this represents you this week, Taurus, in a general sense, this is the mending card. In the energy that you're just leaving or bringing into the week, we've got by the book. In energy that is working for you, we have the co-create card. In the position of what is working against you or that you need to become aware of is go the distance. And in the probable outcome card, we have 2. We have the round and round card and the milk and honey card. So let's just get a general snapshot of what's going on here energy-wise, and then we'll look at these all individually. basically the mending, the current situation is something needs to be fixed, or you feel you're in charge somehow, whether it's perceived or real. You need to be in charge of healing something. It could very well be your own health, your own life, your own finances, you, okay? But there is another character in the card, so it could be that you're feeling as though you're responsible to take care of someone else. Not including a child, okay? This does not include parental responsibilities. This is about taking care of somebody in terms of repairing something between a peer, all right? Someone who is your equal. So there could be a heavy sense of responsibility here, but it's real or perceived. So you're going to have to identify that this week, Taurus. Are you in charge of repairing something between you and a peer because you say so, or because it's your responsibility, or because they're telling you to? Okay, just something to mull over this week. And energy that you're bringing into the week is by the book. You've been really playing by the rules. You've been doing everything you're supposed to, quote unquote, do, and it's brought you to this place. So I really feel like right here in between these two cards and these positions, there's a great deal of responsibility. But again, if it's not between a parent and a child, is this something you're shouldering and you don't need to? Or is it something you're shouldering that you could share with someone else this week, okay? In the what's working for you position is the co-create card. And interestingly enough, right, we have the element of repairing, creating alliances, creating a mending situation. So it could be between you and another person, or it could be between you and a higher power, right? Someone, God or spirit, or however you interpret the creator energy. This could be an artistic endeavor on its own as well. There could be a creative aspect here that's going on as well, a creative project, and not just a creative way of going about things, for example. But in terms of what do you need to know, I do believe that this is asking that you accept someone else's input, that you accept the same level of responsibility that you're providing in the situation from the other person or persons here. So I do believe that there is an element that someone isn't giving as much as you are in this situation here. So you may need to strictly ask for it, or you may need to step back until it's decided or discovered that the other person or persons need to sort of meet you in the middle on it. And the reason I say this as well is that in the what do you need to know, or what could be working against you, is going the distance. And look, it's never a bad thing. There's no like bad or heavy energy here. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that if you're doing all the work, if you're taking on, shouldering that responsibility, um, you you can do it. No one's saying you can't, and this comes without judgment. But you could be tiring yourself out. It could be unfair for both parties. You could be relied upon in the future to keep doing this. The other person or parties may not have an opportunity to grow, and essentially you could be taken advantage of here, or even for granted here. So just basically what I'm seeing here in the essence in these four cards is, don't let anyone run over you emotionally, psychologically, even financially. Stand up for yourself. Ask for what you need. You don't, and I don't even suspect that Taurians in any way will be like, I demand, and be all heavy-handed about it. But I do think that there is a kind way, while being yourself, in demanding in a kind way what you need, especially this week, Taurus, because I do believe that there is a great deal that you are providing, that you are giving freely. I'm not saying you feel run over or taken for granted, but I'm saying this is how it could be interpreted from the outside looking in, or its long-term outcome could create that. So just something to be aware of here. And then the probable outcome card. So I'm going to look specifically at the round and round, and then I'll just sort of peek at the milk and honey. The probable outcome, if this were to continue, is that this is going to create a spiral. It's going to keep going, right, the way it's been going. oops, sorry, or you'll, unless something is addressed right now, if it's addressed at a later time, it'll just be more um, complicated. So maybe getting to the bottom of something now is the best for everybody. And believe me, that other person or persons will be able to meet you in the middle. They will be able to meet you. You just need to ask for what you need here. And then with the milk and honey, it's kind of lovely the way these two came out and we kept them here. The milk and honey is about nirvana. It's about, look, ask for what you need and what you truly desire here, especially because the goal is about pure intention. It's mending. It's forgiveness. It's love and um, creative outcomes, creative output. So there is something beautiful at the end of this that you can be guaranteed to come at the end of this, but for both parties or all parties. So like I said, if you feel like there's, oh, sorry, I meant to look at these one by one with you. If you feel like you are being run over roughshod somehow, or someone's taking advantage of you, just all I can insist upon is that you don't let them take you for granted. So I just want to look at these briefly with you one by one. The mending card, you can see they're actually mending one of the flags that sort of is at a top of many of the cards in this deck. So there is a great deal of purpose here in this communication or in your intention this week. If this, like I said at the very beginning, unless this is all strictly about your personal health, physical health, then in that case, you really need to take care of something and demand, right? Deliberate outcomes within your uh, care group or medical community. But aside from if it's strictly apart from a medical concern, this is all about mending relationships and affairs, concepts and beliefs, and communication, right? Let someone know how you feel and let them know that it comes without judgment. They can come to you when they're ready. But I pretty much see here that someone's ready to have this conversation or ready to hear from you about this. And they're probably not going to be surprised. We have the by the book. This is energy you're bringing into the week or that you're just leaving behind. Like I said, you're following all the rules. You're being very dutiful. This is a great level of responsibility here. But like I said, it could be something that you find very draining and that you just need a little bit of help with, that someone is able to do for you or to help assist you with. Don't be shy this week, Taurus, in asking for that or even taking a break from it. Unless there's a deadline on something, take a break from it, come back to it when you're ready. In what is working for you is the co-create card. And like I said, I really believe that if you're just able to reach out, um, the the combination of these two forces, you and this other person or persons, will have even more wisdom, more energy, more reliable outcomes, and prospects than if you were to go alone, for example. So even just reach out, even if it's for advice, even if it's not the person that you need to have that conversation with, or you need to get to the bottom of something with, or ask for help from that person or persons, maybe just talk to someone else with whom you trust. And you could gain a greater perspective on whether you truly need that or even how to go about getting that. And like I said, in what is working against you or what you may need to become aware of is the go the distance card. There's no doubt in my mind that you can do this alone, right? You can shoulder the responsibility, you can have the weight of the world, you can do it all, Taurus, and you're going to succeed. But there is a price to that, right? It could become exhaustion, it could become resentment, it could become feeling, like I said, being taken advantage of. And it's because we have the round and round here, there is the probability, not possibility this week, but probability that if you are to keep doing this in this manner, it's going to repeat itself over and over. So do you want to keep doing this by yourself over and over and over would be the in, what you need to become aware of, okay? Not that you can't, just that if you can, somebody might just keep relying on that. And nobody wants this conversation or this development to turn into excuse me, like a volcanic event, like where you just you blow up or something gets blown up or out of proportion because it wasn't taken care of head on or straight on. So just something to be aware of. And like I said, in terms of probable outcome as well, there is a sense of nirvana here. There is a sense of culmination of peace, of getting exactly what you want, feeling respected, feeling honored, and having that flow from both ways, from both angles. So I do think it's a very positive conversation that needs to be had here, even if it feels a little cloudy, even if it feels like it's a little heavy, right? Like, oh, you don't want to have it, or you don't want to hear what the other person or people have to say. Ultimately, I think it's best for everybody to have that conversation or to get to the root of what you've been managing on your own here. So in one of the additional cards here, we have signs. Now, this is a really cool card for me, actually, when I see this for any type of spread, frankly. And it's that you know. This is always a knowing. Here's what happens with signs. There is a knowing, right, which we can interpret as knowledge, and then there is application, which is the literal applying of knowledge. See, we tend to think that knowledge is power, but knowledge is power when applied. That's what's missing from that statement. So if you know exactly what to do and what will stem because of what you do, then that's one level of power. That's one level of um, uh, personal power or personal development or understanding, but it's the application of that. You can know so much, but then you have to apply it. So I really feel here that this is a level of you know what to do. It's just a matter of you need to physically encounter this or physically apply or appeal to this in some manner. On the other hand, if you're waiting for a sign in terms of what to do next or what action or if you should, etc., I would consider that card your sign to go ahead and stand up for yourself and put yourself first and um, really feel committed to positive outcomes and also recognize as well that you know sharing responsibility is as good for the other person as it is for you, right? That it'll be positive for both parties or both agencies or however this plays out for you this week. I'm just going to put this up here a teeny bit. Interesting. I did not expect to see this. Okay, so we have the links as one of your last cards to the spread. This is the card of secrets. Now, to me, Taurus, this brings a whole other level to this reading. I wasn't interpreting secrets here. Um, Interestingly enough, though, after seeing this, I kind of understand it now. We have two um, uh, cheetahs, two of them, right? So one is fast, one's standing still. There's two worlds here. There's two ways you can go, 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 but you're missing something. When you sit still, when you pay attention to something, you can gain a great deal of wisdom. There's a greater element of receiving inspiration when we're still, right? When we're, and I don't mean still physically necessarily, I mean still in the mind. You can be doing dishes, you can be gardening, you can be running, etc., and be in a meditative state. You don't have to be physically still. I just mean in the mind. To be meditative in the mind is a great place to receive. So this is where I'm going to be asking for my viewers to give me a little bit of an insight. What does the secrets card mean for you here this week, Taurus, regard to the spread? Because either you're withholding a secret, someone is withholding something from you, or there is a secret or secrets afloat during this entire week, or in a concept in terms of responsibility and agency and playing by the rules and sharing responsibilities and being taken advantage of, etc. So all the terms that I used throughout the reading, there is something that's being withheld for a very particular reason here. Is it you or the individual? I would like to know how that works out for you this week. Again, nothing overwhelming in terms of someone's going to get hurt or there's there's, heavy energy, nothing like that. But I am curious to see what the secrets card does mean for you. So if you have a second, please comment below. Let me know how this works out for you this week. And if you're not already, Taurus, do subscribe to my channel because I upload videos for your sign every single week. So until we meet next time, take good care of yourself. Bye for now.